Hi, and welcome to the first ever Alexa podcast. My name is Bradley Metrock. I'm CEO of a company called Store Publishing based in Nashville, Tennessee. We have the mission of helping people become better interactive content creators, and we've gotten involved with Alexa, and we run the annual Alexa conference. My co host is Kevin Old,
Hello.
and tonight we have on as our first guest ever Octavio Menical of Rain Agency in Nicaragua.
Hello, Bradley. Thank you.
Octavio, we're thrilled to have you, and really thrilled to be launching the Alexa podcast. Period. The Alexa podcast is one of a few shows that we're starting with on the new Voice First FM, our podcast network. We're going to bring a variety of content as far as podcasts go, related to voice first technology. Alexa, Google, AI bots, all sorts of stuff, and how all that intersects with different industries. We'll have a show called The Voice of Healthcare. We'll have a show called The Voice First Roundtable. We've got some other exciting shows coming your way, but let's get to the Alexa podcast. This is going to be a half hour ish show every month or so, related to Alexa and how Alexa is impacting different industries or different sectors, and we're going to have a guest on each show to talk about what he or she is doing with Alexa. And so, Octavio, let's start with how you got into developing for Alexa.
Sure thing, Bradley. Yeah, it was super excited getting to this Alexa world. It was by the end of 2015. Um, I started at Rain as an Android developer, but then we were introduced to the Alexa development, and we got a series of webinars on how the platform worked by then. We received technical instructions. We received um, user experience workshops too, because it was a completely different world. We didn't have a screen. It was just voice. And it was super, super excited for me that I have over a year working with Alexa skills, not only at Rain, but personally as a developer. So
Yeah, you've
this means,
developed a number of big time skills, and sorry to interrupt you there, but
no
Campbell's
worries.
Soup, 1-800-Flowers, Safeco. What was your favorite one to develop?
uh, I have loved every one of them because it's been completely different experience from developing my first account linking project till um, a long form audio skill like GE podcast theater. But personally, I love have worked in the Tide skill because
Okay.
we integrated messaging with Twilio. In the Tide skill, we send um, images in the messages to the users with instructions on how to get rid of any kind of stain. So I can tell you that that is my favorite one.
And you're talking about Tide detergent.
Yes, exactly, the stain remover.
Cool. So Rain Agency, your company that you work for down in Nicaragua, is one of the Amazon preferred Alexa developers that Amazon has listed on its website. How did that come to be?
Yeah, we at Rain, we are the very first partner with Amazon to develop Alexa skills. And Rain has three offices. One is in Utah, the other one is in New York City, and we have one down here in Nicaragua, Central America. So everything started with Campbell's Kitchen, where there is a this been an old client. We have developed several works for them, like the website and like the mobile application. And then, thanks to the research department, uh, uh, based in New York, um, they decided to implement another technology, and they saw in Alexa a huge opportunity with Campbell's. And Campbell's Kitchen is the very first recipe skill, and so far it's been really, really good. A nice experience, um, not only for the user, but also for us. We've learned a lot from them.
So a company comes to you or comes to Rain Agency, a Safeco or a Tide or whoever, and they tell you what? They tell you that they just want to do a voice, an Alexa skill, or they tell you that they want to have some sort of voice skill without even mentioning Alexa, cross-platform, or what? How does that conversation begin?
Yeah, at the beginning, it is just companies that would like probably an advertisement solution with Rain, and then Rain makes research, and we always try to incorporate new technologies to offer to the clients. And if we see the opportunity to build an Alexa skill, that's what we do. And sometimes it's the clients reaching to us. Other times it's Amazon who recommends the client, hey, we have Rain Agency as a partner, and you can go with them to develop a skill. So,
All right, Kevin, you're up.
So, Octavio, can you walk us through how you go about designing the voice interface that a user would interact with via Alexa?
yeah, yeah, sure, definitely. So I'm going to tell you my developer point of view, since when there is an Alexa project, there are a lot of people involved, and we even have a voice experience department. And by voice experience, I just mean the same user experience oriented to the voice. And these guys are awesome. They just think through the idea of the need of the clients, the type of clients for the companies, and they start building the whole interaction model. What we know developers about interaction model, the voice experience guys at Rain developed that part, and then they explain to us, to developers, the intent, the utterances they want to map, the slot types involved in the experience, and based on that, we start the development. And another thing to mention is that they build the entire flow of the skill. We have some diagram tools to develop the skill, to follow the instructions, the responses. Every response is reviewed by the voice experience department. And after everything is approved, we even talk to the client sometimes to discuss about some responses. And once all the parts are agreed, that's my turn, to start developing the skill. And yeah, once we're done, we send the skill to the client for the first approval, and then we send it to the certification to Amazon.
Awesome. I know that's a different area for me, and I like how your company's formed a voice experience set of I guess department, as you mentioned, in the same spirit as a UX designer.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Can you talk about any challenges that you've run into with developing a voice experience? Are there any of those gotchas that you've run into that you think would help others, or that you found interesting?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm going to tell you that the very blocker maybe that I had was at the beginning there was not too much examples or projects out. So we had to build everything from scratch for the first project. And it was also difficult trying to test our skill in the Alexa developer portal until we started using a tunnel tool, which redirects the Alexa skill to our local machines. So at the beginning, it was a waste of time, trying to upload all the code to the Lambda function and then come back and start testing. And that was completely a waste of time. But thanks to this, to a tunnel tool, I don't know if you heard about NGRock. It's really cool. Um, then we saw that there were not many tools out for using, and we decided to implement our own framework. So if you haven't heard about that, it's called Boxa. We have been working on it lately, and it's out and it's free for any developer to use. And we released examples, a very good documentation, and we hope anyone to try it out to see if they can, it's a good fit for them. We love working for Boxa. It's the framework we use, and yeah, probably at the beginning it was the most challenging part was the lack of examples, but now that is that is in the past now. So
That's awesome. We'll certainly put that in the show notes, and I'll certainly dive into it. I heard you mentioned Lambda. So, do you host all of your skills on Lambdas, or do you have proprietary APIs that you interact with?
no, yeah, all the code we rely on the AWS ecosystem. So we always try to use the tools available on AWS. The main one is Lambda. One of the main things of Lambda is that it's super cheap, it's super scalable, and it can connect to everything in AWS. So yeah, that's what we use in every project. It's what we recommend to the clients, and it's super easy to set up. So that's the tool that we use, and always with the Boxa framework. Another thing that I would like you to tell you guys. Yeah, go ahead, Bradley.
No, keep going.
Oh, okay. Um, I wanted to talk to you about Reverb. That is our mobile application where we integrated Alexa into the phone. So far, it has over 100,000 downloads in every store, the Google Play and the App Store. And at the beginning, we built Reverb for our own testing because, as I mentioned at the beginning, it is not just developers. There are a lot of people involved. There are voice experience guys, and there are the project managers of the project. So we all want to test the skills anytime, anywhere where we are. And we started building the Reverb mobile application, and now it was a huge success because any Alexa user loves talking to Alexa through Reverb. And we use it every time, not only the Echo devices, but Reverb, and it's been just awesome.
Cool. So thank you for sharing that with us. I want to shift gears for a moment to this week's news, which it seems like there's been almost too much to keep up with in terms of what's going on with Amazon and Alexa and voice first technology. The first thing I want to start with is the Echo Show, which is the hardware that Amazon announced that pairs a screen with the Echo. And then the other announcement that at least caught my eye was the Echo Look, which is the camera, which did generate some controversy. That's intended to go in your bedroom. That the way I understand it, at least, will help people with their fashion sense. Help.
It will recommend you what to wear.
Yeah, and my wife, I knew she'd be interested in it, and sure enough, I didn't know that Amazon was advertising the Echo Look on the front of their website. but they were. And she asked me, "What's the Echo Look?" And she was looking at it, and I just was interested to hear what she had to say. And she didn't uh, mention any privacy concerns. She didn't mention anything. She just wondered if it worked. And I thought that was interesting. But Octavio, my question for you is between the Echo Show and the Echo Look. I'd love to get your reaction to both of them and which one of the two you think will have a bigger impact in 2017.
Yeah, definitely. It's been great announcements by Amazon, and we are all, I think, we are really excited about these new devices because I think somehow it changes the rules of the game. We've been playing with an Echo devices, no screen at all. It was just our voice trying to talk like another human inside the Echo. But now we have cameras inside with the Echo Look. We have a screen with the Echo Show, which now it will help us a lot to offer our users a way better experience with the skill. But I personally think the Echo Show will hit the nail this year. Um, I think from what we have seen in the videos, and if you have maybe bought it, it can play videos, it can show images instantly. So it will be like a teacher, you know, not only talking to us but showing us interactive images or videos. People will love that. Maybe the Echo Look will be just like a minor tool for anyone trying to look better to get a suggestion.
Now, see, the thing about that is, Amazon has played up the fashion
Yeah,
angle to that device, but the reality is, I I don't think fashion is even in the top three or four or five things that device ought to be used for. I mean, to me, the number one thing that a device like that could be used for is healthcare. And I've seen some people talking about it, um, sort of negatively saying, what data is this device capable of capturing about your health? Obviously, it's capturing what you look like, and that the visuals are data. That's health data in and of itself. But um, if that were used the right way, that'd be a very powerful. Could have a lot of healthcare potential. Not to mention how it might fit into any number of other industries where a camera filming you um, in conjunction with the voice interaction. I don't know. It just opens up an entire new world that in no way to me is captured at all by just saying this is a fashion device. So maybe that's just Amazon playing coy. I mean, I'm sure they realize the potential of it, but they've got to get into people's bedroom first, and I guess maybe they've figured out that's the angle to play. I don't know. What do you think?
yeah, they are already in people's kitchen and people's living rooms. But yeah, I think people will learn how to use the Echo Look. I'm sure that if I ever had an Echo Look, I wouldn't put it in my room, probably. But maybe I'm not that familiar with the Echo Look. I haven't gone over the privacy policies rules or terms of use of the device. I would like to see what Amazon says about it in the teeny lines. But yeah, it depends on the use you want uh, to do with this device. Probably if you are really care about your appearance and maybe you're alone, you want to receive a good suggestion from Alexa. So I think it will depend on the kind of people, but definitely the Echo Show will be the hit this year.
Well, and even things like one of my favorite apps of all time is Shazam. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I heard about it.
So yeah, Shazam is a mobile app that uh, listens to music that's playing or audio, and it tells you primarily songs, you know, commercially released music, and it tells you what it is. It tells you what the song name, tells you
Yeah,
the artist,
exactly.
and it identifies it for you. And I'm really one of the things that intrigues me about the Echo Look is the opportunity to do, and even with the show, I mean, I'm sure cameras will be built into all these different devices out of necessity, you know, but the opportunity to create um, the capability, you know, recognition capability in the software. Like one thing that comes to mind is, you know, you did a skill for Campbell's soup, right?
Yes.
So if I'm making some Campbell's soup in my kitchen, um, you know, it would be cool, and maybe soup's not the best example, but if I'm cooking a dish, um, wouldn't it be cool if the camera would can recognize
The ingredients.
well, recognize the ingredients and help you with quantity and the composition of it, but also like the cooking and looking in the oven and you know saying, "Hey, this looks like it's getting burned." Um, you know, it just opens up a lot of opportunity. Of course, cynics will say, you know, it's to privacy violations, and maybe that's true, but I don't know. That type of thing gets me excited. Just the potential for having a camera and what it could do just to help people in conjunction with the voice interaction.
Yeah, I think once if you are open mind, you can get the most out of the device, and just as you are right now suggesting, you can come up with any important use in your house, in your work, in your daily activities. So I think I would love to see what people in social media uh, thinks about what they are using the Echo Look for.
Yeah, I'd like to jump in, and I think that there are some practical uses for the camera as we've been talking in relation to like cooking. I can see a number of things like if you want to add soup or something to your grocery list, if you would hold it up to the camera, say, you know, Alexa, add this to my shopping list, it could or to-do list or something like that. It would use, you know, be able to recognize that it's Campbell's soup and or a certain type of crouton or spice or something like that. Add that specific thing to it. I also think that the you know the Echo Look at first the fashion commercials that they came out with, those did not really attract me, and I did think that it was a bit weird at first, but then simply identifying products either to purchase or if you could hold it up and say, hey, you know, I'd like to buy 2 more of these, you know, and then I'm certain that Amazon would automate that purchase through their system. So as far as the Echo Show goes, I as soon as I saw it, I had a memory pop in my head from probably the early '90s or late '80s. There was a thing that I believe it was AT&T was coming out with called the video phone, and it was not well received. Obviously, it was before its day, but the idea was that you would buy a phone and it would have a screen in the phone. And this was we really didn't even have actual cell phones that worked, much less what we have today. And you know, FaceTime and Skype and all of those are commonplace. So I feel like that that dream, I guess, to have like a phone where the grandmother and you know can talk to the grandkids. I think that's finally come full circle with this infrastructure. So I think I agree with Octavio. I think there will be a lot of use out of that just for the use in the commercial, and then I do see it as an aid in the kitchen specifically. If you're cooking something, you can use Alexa to say, "Hey, Alexa, what's the next ingredient?" And it would be able to use the card technology to be able to slide the next ingredient or turn the page. And turning the pages in developer speak would be additional cards or additional images that would be put on the screen. So I can see that as a big advantage in the kitchen.
So we'll go ahead and wrap up. And Kevin, it occurs to me we never said who you are at the at the start of this. Kevin Old spoke at the first Alexa conference. He'll be speaking at the next one. He'll be my co-host on the Alexa podcast, and he's a software developer for Lifeway here in Nashville. Octavio, we're thrilled to have had you on the podcast. Thank you very much for being our first guest ever.
I appreciate it, Bradley and Kevin.
Yeah, thank you so much for setting the time aside for us. And Octavio will be a speaker at the next Alexa conference, which will be in January in Chattanooga. Chattanooga is a very up-and-coming city. It's a perfect place to have this type of conference. It's equidistant from a number of key cities, but we'll have people coming from both coasts as well as internationally to attend. It will be Octavio's first time in the United States, correct, Octavio?
It will be certainly.
That's exciting. So
yeah, I'm really looking forward to be there.
Yeah, so it's exciting to have somebody with Octavio's expertise join us as part of our programming lineup. It's just going to be a phenomenal event. You can check out more information on that at alexaconference.com or on Twitter at AlexaConf, C-O-N-F, Alexa, and then C-O-N-F on there. Thank you very much, Octavio. Kevin, appreciate it. Until next time.